Okay, I'm back. I'm here. Hi. um, so today I'm going to try and get through a couple of people's characters, getting them drawn. Let's see, I think I have 5 at the moment. And since I see that Croc Animates is here right now, I think I will start with yours. Before I get too much started, I made the mistake of putting on nails. They're really cute. They look like this, the little designs, one with like the outline, one with some angles and whatnot. Anyway, they're super cute. My hands look great. But I forgot how much they really put a strain on drawing. So if it takes a little bit longer or I'm a little bit slower, that is definitely like 100% why. Okay, let me set something down real quick and then I will get started. Okay. Wow, my canvas is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Let's see. Oh. I think I'm getting lazy or softer. I don't know. Hello, Morgan. Good to see you. Hello, Eric. Hello, Animator. And hello, Ivy. It's awesome to see you all here. I have to get this first circle right because I feel like it sets the tone of the entire drawing. So if I can't do the circle, then what's the point? Okay, this hair looks super cool. Can I recreate it? That is the question. I don't know, can you guys hear that tapping? That's my nails and I'm not sure if I can actually stop myself from making that noise. Hello, Piggy428. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, Eric asks, how many OCs are you going to get done, by the way? Great question. Not sure how many I'm going to get done today because, like I said, these nails are really throwing me for a loop. They seemed like a good idea at the time because they were super cute. And in my head, I didn't have anything that they were going to stop me from, like, doing. Because I don't know that I was planning on doing this today. I was watching Amphibia pretty much all day. And then I finally was like, okay, you know, that's a lot of episodes to binge watch. Maybe you should do something a little bit productive. So now I'm here. But I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 at the very least. They will all eventually get done. You know, because I said, yes, I will do it, and I'm gonna. But whether it's today or a later date, that, you know, great question. Not sure how to predict that. Let's see, Morgan says, yes, I hear the tappy tap. Yeah. It's super entertaining to me, but I'm sure that it would get, like, annoying after a second. I'm trying my best to not tap too much. But it's gonna happen. Anyway. I should not be doing this perspective with this drawing. Not because it won't look awesome, but because I can feel that my hand is saying no. But if it works out, it'll be super cool, so I guess I'm going for it. Let's see. Thank you for drawing my OC. Also, nice job on the 4-day color palette challenge. They look very nice. Thank you very much. No problem. I absolutely love doing this because, like, honestly, every time I say, okay, guys, I have time to do this for you as a thanks for support. I never, ever in a million years could predict the various characters that show up. There's always a bunch that are just really cool. Oop, I made a mistake there. I would like that to be 100%. Okay. But yeah, so I'm always happy to kind of see what other people's creativity has done for them, because it's always super cool. As for my 30-day color palettes challenge, thank you very much. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's days like today where I'm sitting there trying to figure out what I'm going to do for tomorrow, and I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. So that one might come a little bit late. I mean, it's going to be posted tomorrow, but whether it's at like the usual noon-ish or if it's going to be like 8 in the afternoon, we'll see. But I'm having a lot of fun because I definitely can see how the palettes have colors that I don't usually use. You know, I very much have, like, there, that's not the right button. You can see this palette here, right? There's a lot of, like, that's the colors I use. Sometimes I'll go out of that, but for the most bit, it pretty much stays the same. And so it's nice to kind of have something that pushes me to do something different, to change it up. And that's been pretty neat. Let's see. What other comments have I missed? See, Ivy says, how are you, Basil? I'm doing very well, thank you. I have been drawing a bunch, which is nice. Let's see, what else have I been doing? It's summertime. It's been super hot, but generally, other than the occasional little heat wave, I've been pretty good. Yeah, just, summertime. I haven't been doing a whole lot for the summer. So, my sister, lovely Rosemary, has stopped by, is making comments. What was your comment?
Going to the canal with moi.
Yeah,
Jazz hands.
Yeah, there's a canal nearby, and so sometimes she can convince me to go with her. Sometimes she can't, and I stay home, but that's been kind of fun. It's super pretty, and at like the twilight-y hours where the sun's setting, and so it's not as hot anymore. That's my favorite time to go to canal. I'm not a huge water person though, so my sister will like play in the water and I will stand on the side. And that's pretty much how that works. You off?
Yeah.
Okay, well, bye-bye. Let's see. Hello, Chewy Wolf. Hello. Okay, I don't know why this is, like, getting the best of me, but caning, okay, anyway. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Let's see. Mystic Animations, hello. This is your first stream of mine? That's awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Hope it's interesting. So, anyway, I don't have cicadas. I have never seen a cicada before. We have like June bugs that are super annoying, but they're just like look gross is mostly what my problem is.
Tiki, never mind, I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back. I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm leaving now.
Bye. Yeah, but they're like between looking really gross and then dying on the steps and like me almost stepping on them every time. Sometimes they'll just like fly into your face for no reason. Those are the summer bugs that like super bug me. But other than that, let's see. There are millions of cicadas where you're at. I don't even know what they look like. Like in my head, if you were to say like, explain what a cicada looks like, I'd be like, it's basically a cockroach. Maybe a little bit smaller, a little bit cleaner, maybe green instead of red. Like, I don't know. Because we don't have anything really crazy. Let's see. Now to add the crocodile, can I even do this? I'm so worried I'm going to mess it up. Okay. I'll probably get faster as we go through this stuff just because as I start to figure out like what angles work with my nails on, it becomes a little bit easier. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm hoping. Ooh. Wait, roaches are red. You know what? In my head they are. I actually may be wrong about that because I've not really ever seen a cockroach either. As far as bugs go around here, basically the worst you're gonna get is the occasional yellow jacket or like waspy thing will get into the house. It'll be like a isolated single bug. You smush it and then you go about your day and it doesn't happen for another month or two. And then sometimes you get ants, but our ants are like super duper tiny. You could step on them, no bigs. It's more about just finding the original source of the issue or like where they're getting in more than the ant itself. So like pests around here are not super a big problem, but there's also the chance that maybe I just don't know what goes on around here because like maybe my parents were really good at preventing pests. Like maybe that's what it is, but like I seriously can't think of anything that's super problematic as far as bugs and stuff goes. Let's see, where do you get these OCs from? So people submit them to me. They'll send a link to one of the designated spots that I've established, which is pretty much any of these streams. You can put them in the comments. Not in the chat, because I can't really do anything about it when I'm streaming in of itself. Because like I said, I gotta set it up so I have the reference photo, and that takes a lot of extra stuff that's really stressful to do on live. But so in the comment sections of live streams, or there's an announcement video that I have that you can put your links there. And if putting a link doesn't work for you, you can DM me on Instagram. Just send a photo that way. But yeah, so that's how I get all these different characters for me to draw. Let's see. Gotta figure out the eyebrows. this eye is gonna kill me. Doo, doo, doo. There we go. Ugh. Hey, sour lemonade. I think I forgot to turn off that stupid little... How do I... Okay, whatever. You should all ignore that comment that pops up. I forget that sometimes I have to click off, like... Okay. Anyway, whatever, back to the drawing. That eye looks great as far as shape goes, but I'm so upset that it's not positioned properly. Okay, actually I'm going to have him looking up. I think that will be much more personality filled. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that. Trying to think if there's anything that's even happened to me recently that could be an interesting story or something. Our dishwasher got a little bit busted up, and so until someone can come in and repair it, all of our dishes have to be washed by hands. And I don't know about you, but I hate washing dishes. So for the past week, I've been like eating things that require no dishes, which takes quite a bit of creativity to come up with stuff. Like, because if you think about it, like if you cook anything, that requires like a pan, and if you want to like cut something up, that's, you have to use a knife. And so anyway, I'm just doing my darndest to avoid using dishes so I don't have to wash anything. And at first it was going to be just until I got too tired of not figuring it out, because like it's not that hard to wash dishes. But now it's been about a week, and so I'm like, I feel like I could probably make it till the guy comes in. I don't even know when that is, but I feel like I could make it. Toothpicks are a big help. Like I wanted something with sour cream, but I didn't want to like wash a spoon, so I grabbed a toothpick and like somehow managed to get enough sour cream onto the toothpick in order to eat the little taco I wanted. The other thing is, most of the foods that I have been reduced to cooking, it's like a quick wipe off rather than having to like actually like scrub it or anything. So I guess I technically have washed a dish, but it's, not been anything crazy. Hello to... Amber can never figure out how to pronounce, but, let's see. Okay. Marure? Oof, I feel like I'm not saying that one right. But I'm glad you're here, and that's the point I want to make. Let's see, I'm somewhat early to the stream. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the end results are. Me either. I never know how these are gonna turn out, because like the whole time, I swear I'm so stressed that I'm just gonna ruin the character. Like, all I want to do is be able to look at what I'm doing in the original side by side and say, okay, at least mine doesn't look like trash next to it, And I think I managed to do it every time. But there are some days where I feel like it was a close call. Let's see. I'm unsure of how I want to... I'm going to wait to save that line later. Let's see. Sour lemonade. Am I the only one that feels really dysphoric in the summer? You know, summer is a funky little season. It's so fun, but also I think there's such an expectation to live up to this idea of like a great summer that it's so easy to just feel bad about it. Isn't that like, it's so weird. I don't necessarily identify with what you've said, but I do know that I have, like, I'm growing up. I'm graduating college next year. And, so there's tons of times during the summer that I'm sitting here like, am I doing, like, I'm just sitting here drawing. Is that enough? Am I seizing the last summer that I don't really have any responsibilities? Am I using it correctly? And it's so easy to start feeling a little bit rough, you know, in just like tons of ways. And I think it's just like there's all these expectations and preconceptions with summer all the time, with like any aspect of summer you could think of. There's always something that's like, oh, you know, you should enjoy it like this, or yeah. I'm very quickly losing track of what I'm saying because I'm trying to figure out the next line to draw, but I think I've made my point. I may not have, but I think I have. Like for me right now, I live really close to the college campus that I go to. It's within walking distance. It's a long walk, but it's within walking distance. But also, I play Pokemon Go, because, you know, why not? And there's Community Day, and that's the best place to go for Community Day, because, like, every 2 feet there's a Pokestop. And so there's just nothing but Pokemon, like, all day up there. So during the summer, I'll go up there to catch Pokemon, and it feels amazing in the summer. That campus is beautiful. It's got, like, such a good energy to it. And so it leaves me sitting there thinking, like, oh, maybe I do like this place, you know? Maybe it is a nice place. Maybe I'm just, like, being a drama queen when I say that I, you know, hate going up to school. I'm not. Like, logically, I know I'm not, because it loses that energy during the winter. It's by some mountains that, like, feed cold air directly into the campus. And so if you're up there during the winter, you're being bombarded with just freezing cold winds all the time, and it gets super snowy, and ugh, it's gross. Anyway, and so if I'm sitting there, like, in my warm bed thinking, oh yeah, let me just get out and go to class, which I don't necessarily like, and subject myself to being beat up by icy wind, like, it's not fun. I'm right when I say I don't like it, but it sure leaves me feeling like I'm missing out. 'Cause, like, the energy up there during the summer is so nice. How come I can't recreate that energy when I go to school? The mind games of summer. It's crazy. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys have been talking while I've been ranting. Hold on. Don't get me started with swimsuits. Recently got a swim shirt and swim shorts. Not good, but better. You know, swimsuits are awful. I got a pair that has, like, shorts, and it's not quite, like, it's not a swim shirt. It's more of a tank top, but, you know, it covers a lot more, and I feel a lot better about that than those one piece. Like, I remember when I asked my dad to, like, because I've had this swimsuit for a while. I have not grown for many years, so all my clothes have pretty much stayed the same for quite a bit there. But I remember being, like, a teen and asking my dad if he would help me buy a new swimsuit. And he's like, oh, have you outgrown it? I'm like, no, I just kind of don't like it anymore. And it was just a one-piece swimsuit, no bigs. And he's like, oh, okay, well, what would you want instead? And I'm like, I don't like a two-piece. And I know his mind immediately went to, like, a bikini. And he's just like, oh, what? Sorry? And I'm like, oh, no. No way, there's no way that you could ever get me out in a bikini. No, thank you. Absolutely not. I want something that covers more of me, and this one piece just isn't cutting it. And so, I don't know, it's funny to me just because, you know, he was like, oh no, my teenage daughter wanting to be in a bikini, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, actually, Dad, I want to basically be fully covered. That would be ideal. Let's see. Someone asks, wow, I wish I could read. Okay. How do you record your drawings? So for streams, I use a nice little app called Omelette Arcade. It's pretty good. I don't know what angle I'm gonna tackle this line at. But that's how I do my streams. And then as for, like, recording the art for speed paints and that kind of thing, that is done with basically this app. Ibis Paint will do it for you in the app. If I want to do a full screen record, there's just I think it's just called screen record, and so that's how I record those things. Hope that helps, because it took me quite a bit to figure the streaming bit out. Let's see, I just came to the realization that job interviews are a thing, and in around, 8 years or so, I'll have to partake in them. Don't know how I'm going to get a job. I'm too shy for even... Okay, that is a whole mood. I didn't even finish reading it out loud, because I'm just overwhelmed with how much of a mood that is. I've done job interviews back when I didn't need a job, but, dang it. It was just a fun little extra. I did a job interview, and every single time I leave feeling absolutely amazing. But part of that is because, as a kid, I was like, I'm going to be a really good businesswoman. It's going to be really awesome. And so doing the job interviews was, a chance to really prove that I was good at that. And while I have not yet got a job, I do feel fairly certain that it wasn't necessarily because I was bad as much as, just that there was someone better. You know, I was how old was I? I think I was 18. Yeah, I had to have been because my hair was short. Anyway, I was 18. I had applied to a graphic design position. And I was definitely qualified. And I know it because I got the interview. They don't interview people who aren't, capable of what they're doing or what they want. And so, I totally qualified, but, guess it just there were other people there that were older and had more experience, and so like it makes sense that they didn't go with me. But the most important bit of that was that I felt pretty strong in my interview skills. It's really not that hard if you think about it in the sense of, I read something that said essentially what an interview is they've decided that you have the qualifications they're looking for, and now they're just trying to get a sense of how well you'll work with their team or whatever, right? So the interview is more of a personality test to see if they like you, to see if, it's just that second round of looking into stuff. Anyway, so for me it wasn't, oh, am I even qualified to do this job? It was more just, I just have to talk to them, my biggest problem with interviews is when they ask for a weakness, though. And it's not that I think I'm perfect. It's just that I'm, it's so difficult to focus on strengths sometimes that if I don't put all of my energy into that, I very easily won't apply for anything, because I'm like, oh, what if I don't know this or that, right? So I try my darndest to just kind of let's not look at my weaknesses right now so that I can have the motivation to just do this interview. But then they always ask, oh, what do you think your weaknesses are? And I'm like, bud, nah, my brain is not ready to process that. I'm not going to have a good answer for you. And then I have to, come up with something all of a sudden. It's, okay, anyway, that's the question I hate the most is, what's your weaknesses? But, overall, they're not that hard. Just go in and, talk with them. It's not even a judgment of whether or not you can do, it is a little bit, but it's not that much. And I think if you take that piece out of the equation, it becomes a lot easier to go through the process without stress. At least for me. I hope that made sense. I hope that maybe that quelled some of your fears, because honestly, those fears are extremely real. Not because the things you're worrying about are actually that big of a deal, but because, I've had those fears, and they are, the realest emotion, honestly. Anyway, moving on. Maybe if I fake my death, I won't have to get a job or pay taxes. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, how am I gonna... So I'm just reading through the comments right now, trying to catch up. I am way behind. Let's see. I never said hi to you, Vucky. I'm glad you're here. I saw you, but there's tons of stuff going on. Hello, Becca. Good to see you're here too. Oh my gosh, this eye was perfect, and I just wanted to draw it again. Those nails. Okay. The way I do eyes is kind of difficult even without nails, so this is throwing me for a loop. Okay. Really want this one to work out. Okay, I feel good about that. I'm going to just merge that later. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're still here, Croc, but if you are, when I color this, I'm probably gonna color the eyes. I prefer to color them something other than black just because, I don't know. You know what? I'm not sure why, but I'm thinking about trying to not use black. Unless you're like super solidified on it, which I totally can do. But if you're not, what am I asking? What color eyes would you like? I guess I can do black because they're black there. But if you'd like brown or blue, basically, I don't know. Color in brown. Okay. I can do that. That is what I was thinking about doing if you weren't here. Okay. See, summer makes me want to travel. And so being stuck here is not a good feeling. But on the flip side, I also don't like to leave my house very much. So, like, I've had opportunities to get out and... Well, I mean, I don't know that they're necessarily opportunities as much as, like, there's a bus that I can take that'll basically take me anywhere in the town. And I could just do that, you know. I'm an adult. I can just go wherever I want. But I don't. And so the question is, why don't I? And I think it basically comes down to, it sounds like a lot of work, and I'm not super interested in it. Mostly because it's a half-hour walk to a bus that comes at a decent time, and a 20-minute walk to a bus that... the scheduling on that thing... Ugh. Anyway. And so it just seems like a lot of extra effort for very little reward, because I don't even have anything to do outside my home anyway. You know, what do? I draw. Totally can do that right here. But then it's like super pretty outside, and so I feel bad for not doing anything. But then I think about the heat, and I don't feel bad about not doing anything again. It's, what a crazy little cycle. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I was worried it was gonna not turn out very good, but I feel like I don't have to worry about that anymore. Hello, Devontae. Thank you so much for taking a moment to stop by and say hi. Okay, I'm not sure I'm convinced about how I'm doing this arm. That's not too bad. Feeling much better about that. Not sure how I'm feeling about what I'm working on right now. Like, I think it'll look fine. Okay, that is, I've located my problem with this drawing. And it stems from right here. So we'll just real quick fix that. Oh, am I fixing it? Okay. This feels better. Better. Let's see, is Ransom the newest Basil OC? I think yes. She and Ambit are kind of at the same, were developed at the same time. They've always kind of been interconnected. So, together, they kind of hold that role. Actually, you know what? It might be Talina. Because I think Talina actually came after them. Yeah. Okay, so I take back my answer. No, technically they're not the newest. They're very close to it. It probably was them and then Talina. But yeah, so it's Talina. She's the most recent. And then I introduced Talina, Ransom, and Ambit to this channel all at the same time. But they were developed probably a few years before that for Ransom and Ambit, and then Talina was developed maybe a year before. Because I had Ransom in high school, I remember that. And then Talina wasn't during high school, so whatever. I think I answered the question somewhere in that. Okay. Let's do this belly real quick. Okie dokie. I believe I am done with that. I really like how this is turning out. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. So I'm catching up on comments again. That stinks. Man, why is interaction with people so hard sometimes? You know? And the thing is, likely what's happened is, I don't know if they're anything like me, but if you gave them your number and it's been a few weeks, I know that I very easily would be like, well, now the amount of time that, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but like, now it'd be weird to text them. You know what I mean? It's not, but it doesn't change the fact that sometimes it feels like it might be weird. You know, because if you text them that day, that makes sense. Although sometimes I feel like that's too soon. Not because it is, but because, like, that's what my brain is telling me. And, like, other times, I don't know, it could just be kind of that kind of mind game going on. And those mind games are the worst. Like, I had people who I really liked in high school. And I have their number. I had their number. Then summer came, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll text them. And then I'm like, oh, but I wasn't really that close of friends with them. And anyway, so it could be that they're just like me and totally spooked to reach out to people. I'm hoping that maybe it's like they can just work up to saying hi. Because I know that it takes for me, like, I have friends that I'm like, I would text you right now, but I'm not sure what your response will be. And then I have to, like, take a week or two to psych myself up. Don't know why. It shouldn't be that hard, you know? I think I'm probably pretty likable. They act like they like me enough to make me think I'm likable. They tell me explicitly that I'm likable. You know what I mean? But boy howdy, the mind plays funny games. So I'm going to take this blue and use that as my shading color. I think that will look pretty cool. Oh, that is the whole wrong layer. Crazy. Okay. think I decided to give you just a little bit of extra color. Just to try and give your eyes a little bit more contrast to the overall look. Hoping this looks okay. Ugh. And artistic liberties are very, very spooky. I hate them. I don't need to take artistic liberties, but I sure am, aren't I? Okay. Okay, and I'm going to say I'm done. Unless there's anything that is like obviously like, oh, could you fix that real quick? I'm going to say that I'm good. I'm done. Let me know what you think. Thanks to all the people saying I'm likable in the comments. That is very sweet of you. I try my best. I was very spooked drawing this little crocodile. That was out of the original design. This was the part that spooked me the most. Just because I don't draw reptiles that often. But I feel like I did a pretty good job. I'm kind of proud of it. So I hope you like it. Let's see. Becca Bear says if you want to blend the blue more, you could use multipliers, the shading layer. Okay, I'm going to try that real quick. I don't ever use blending layer, or, whatever that is. I guess I should, I don't even know what it does. I'll be, like, super honest with you. I don't know how the blending layers work. Which is, like, super bad because I took a whole class, on, like, Photoshop and that stuff, and one of the whole units was talking about blending layers. And I still, to this day, I'm like, I don't know what multiply does. I don't know what any of them do. Let's see. What changed it? Anyway, that's definitely one of those things that I gotta look into more. Anyway, let's see. Hello, Manticare. Nice to see that you're here. Hello, Ice Tooth. Thanks for stopping by. Sour Lemonade says, where's the deal maker? I have a bone to pick with him. Deal maker is off doing youth things, playing with friends. Like it's summer or something. I don't understand personally, but that's where she's at. One of your dills was just a normal dill painted gold. I will put that in the what's it called? The complaint box, the feedback. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let them know. I'll have them here next time to be held accountable. Anyway, I'm gonna try. Doing one more. There's like a lot of cool characters, so I'm not sure. Which one to pick? I think I will go with this one, because they've been here for quite a bit, and I just haven't managed to get to them yet, so gonna try and do that. Let's see. Thank you so much. Can I feature it in my next video? Absolutely. That'd be super cool of you. Yeah, you can take the drawing and make it a profile pic. You can do whatever you want with it, you know. If someone asks who drew it, you know, mention that I did. But that's pretty much all. It would, like, I don't care what you use it in. Yeah, have fun with it. Let's see. So Manticore, yes, I can. Not for this stream, because I have to, like, get things prepped for each of them first before I can. But if you would like, if you just leave a comment on one of my videos, the, what's it called? The announcement video that I did earlier, or one of the live streams, just in the comments, so that I get, like, a notification that reminds me to go look at your stuff. I could do that for maybe next stream. Just, but yeah, if you could just remind me, then I can go and, gather the art so that I can have the reference in the canvas. Anyway, let's see. Hair's girly and I hate it. Yeah, you know, that's a rough feeling. I went and chopped off all my hair. You don't see it on the channel because I don't know how to draw short hair. And if I even kind of grow it out, it basically returns to the this shape that I have. Right? Like, that's how I draw my hair. And I feel like that's kind of the default. But technically, it's all gone now. I look more like, okay, this is not what I look like. Hold on. Nope, never mind. I can't draw short hair. I was gonna try to do, like, a quick... It's not gonna happen. Okay, let me, get... First things first, let me turn up my brightness a little bit more so I can see what's going on. Okay, hold on. 4 eyes. 4 arms. Man, this is a really cool character. I'm so worried that I'm not going to be able to do anything that does it justice. That's super cool. Okay, eyeball. We're just going to do the roughest sketch I've ever done in my life real quick to maybe see if that won't... I don't know. I want it to look good. I'm not sure I'm able to do that. Okay. It's a really cool character. I wish that I could draw. I want it to look cool. Yeah, some of you guys offer or like show me a character and you're like, here, it is a person, please will you draw it? I'm like, oh, absolutely, I can draw people, let's do it. And then sometimes people come in with like stuff like this, it's like so cool, but I'm like, I don't know that I know how to draw anymore. All I want to do is make it look nice. Okay, we're gonna give him a little bit more of a pointed face. Oh my gosh, I'm so worried about this because this is so cool. Imagine a bald me. I would still slay. I would turn all the legs, honestly. It'd probably be easier too, because honestly, washing your hair, keeping it up. The amount of days that my hair is just everywhere because it's just too much work to figure out how to tame it after bedhead. Too many days. So if I, can't have bedhead if I don't have hair. What am I doing? Is it because the smile is not big enough? Maybe I big in the smile. Because that is definitely a word. There's also the problem of, like, some people have a much higher tolerance for details than I do. I would never be able to, like, design a character like this just because the amount of detail is so impressive, and I don't have the patience to be that impressive. Okay. Sorry for the quiet. I gotta focus for a second here. Okay. I'm going to now draw over this in hopes that maybe There's an eye. There's gotta be something sticking on my screen or something. Keeps throwing me off. Okay. Let's see, I want short hair so bad. But I don't think I'd be able to pull off short hair. You know what? I thought about that when I went to go cut off my hair. I was like, oh, but what if my face is bad for short hair? You know what? No. There are no bad faces for short hair. Honestly, you could look like the gremliniest gremlin, because that's also a word, and short hair would still work. You know, it is about finding a cut that makes you go like, ooh, but it's about finding the cut, not finding one that works for your face, because if you like it, it's good. Like, I worried about that too, because I'm like, I can't tell if I have like a round face or square. Like, I don't know what kind of face I have. Like, what kind of short hair? Cut it, chop it off. You know, if it makes you feel better about yourself, do it. Because why? Hair is stupid in the first place. Okay. I have a feeling that it'll come down to the eyes. If I can do the eyes right, it'll make me feel better about the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, like I think about the thing that I read somewhere. Don't even remember who or what or any of that, but it was sitting there talking about like how a lot of women or people that like are assigned female at birth sit there and wonder like, oh, well, I look okay with short hair? You know, is that something my face can do? But then you think about, like, name one man that's ever been worried about his face looking good with hair that's short. And is there one guy who, like, doesn't look good because his hair is short? No. And so, like, the same goes for literally everybody. You know what I mean? Like, no one looks bad because of the hair that they have, you know. It's usually it's like, oh, you don't look as good as you could because maybe it's not as washed, or you know what I mean. It's not the haircut itself as much as like the way it's upkept versus the confidence that you have in it. Honestly, you can look totally unconventionally attractive and have like the best looks in the world just because you're too confident in it for anyone else to convince you otherwise. Like, some of my best days are when I look like trash, and I've just decided that today I look like the best. I don't look great, but I've decided I look great. And I have pictures of those days, and they're some of my favorite to this day. Because I just think I looked crazy, but I looked confidently crazy, I think. Oops, gonna knock over everything just because I wanted to take a drink. You know what I realized just this moment as I'm drawing? So I think I mentioned that I have a bird, and she wasn't super Super comfortable with me at the very, very beginning. I got her from someone else who was moving, and I'm like, hey, I'll, take that bird from you. And she wasn't super comfortable with me at the very beginning. And I wanted to change that because she's super cute and whatnot. And so I thought, okay, how can I change it so that she would feel more comfortable around me? Or at least, like, maybe I could trick her into being more comfortable around me. And something that birds do is when they are content and comfortable and they feel safe, they will, like, grind their beak, and it makes this little, no, it's not a good example, but it makes little grinding noises. And so in my head, I'm like, maybe I can, like, recreate that noise. And then subconsciously, she'll have to feel safe and comfortable because, like, that's the noise that says, hey, I'm safe and I'm comfortable. So, I started making a little noise to pretend to grind my beak that I don't have, but, like, to make that noise. And so now, whenever I'm sitting with her, I still do it, that little, like, it's like this noise, like, I don't know if you can hear it, but, anyway, so now when I'm just trying to figure out, like, I do that noise all the time now. Like, the thing that sparked me talking about this is I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, what do I want to do next? And I'm just, like, already doing my little clicky clack noise thing. And I think it's interesting because I didn't used to do that. And it very much is like 100% because I wanted my bird to feel more comfortable around me. And I thought that maybe I could get her to do so if I made that funny little noise. That was my random story of the day. Thank you for listening. Okay, I can already feel that this one's going to take a little bit longer overall just because I feel the need to do a multiple sketch phase with it. Okay, it looks quite not yet perfect, but it should, that should change in just a second. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing now. Okay. Okay. That feels better. Nice random story of my dog, which I've had for 7 years, used to not like me and love my sister. But over time, she's grown to somewhat enjoy my presence. I'm going to respond to that in just a second. Need a drink to clear my throat. Yeah, my bird that I love so very dearly, and we're now best buds. When I brought her home, she immediately connected to my dad, because he was smart and was constantly giving her little treats for her to munch on and whatnot, while all of us were off doing other things, living lives that didn't revolve around her. My dad would take an extra step or an extra moment just to make sure that she got a treat from him. And that caused her to be very much in love with my dad because he meant treats, which I don't blame her because treats are very yummy. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better about this, I think. I'm feeling better. I'm kind of seeing it come together. I still think that the original is way better than mine, but I think I have got a chance with this now. So, anyway, she loved my dad. Didn't really love anyone else, but she, tolerated everyone. And she, tolerated me, but she didn't, love me. This was still pretty early on. Anyway, fell in love with my dad. I made all sorts of jokes about, oh yeah, I got friends who are thinking about getting married. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, my bird left me for my dad. Ha ha ha. And it basically happened where we went from, being tolerable to each other to, she hated me for a while there. All because, she's very particular. And at one point, I put her to bed because it was late and my dad didn't have time to do it. But she had decided that that was his job. He was the dude who put her to bed. And if anyone else did it, that was a problem. Only no one else did it before I did it, so no one knew that it was actually a problem for her. Anyway, I did it that day, and she got so mad at me that she started, flying at me and, biting at my head and, all these things that I've literally never seen her do before, because she was, a super mild can't speak, but she's a super mild-mannered bird. She can be loud sometimes, but, that's when she wants attention. But she was, super sweet. She just wasn't gonna step up on your finger and, cuddle with you if she wasn't, super close. But that day, I clearly crossed a line with her that she, believed I should not have at any point crossed. And she let me know. And it was really interesting because it was, nighttime at that point. And I was just okay, I'm gonna let her sleep on it, I guess, because whatever. That was weird. Anyway, went to bed after having been attacked by this bird. She's not very, she's not super mean, so it was, none of it hurt. She didn't even, barely even get grip on me. I would not have known she was attacking me, except for she was just being so weird. Anyway, I thought we were good, because the day was done, and we moved on. Woke up the next morning, she saw me wake up, because, I wake up later than everyone else. And so my dad had already pulled her out. Anyway, woke up, she saw me come up the stairs, and she said no. Flew at me again, and started biting at my head again. I'm holy cow, she, hates me. So that's a funny thing about birds. They're very particular sometimes. Most of the time that I've had a problem with birds, it's because, someone did something just the wrong way, and they were not about to have it. Anyway, I had to work with her for a bit just to get her to stop flying at me. Because I just had done the wrong thing that day. Anyway, something happened earlier this year, January or something, where I got a chance to kind of be the only one here with her. And so suddenly I was the one who was feeding her, I was the one who was putting her away, and it wasn't as traumatic for her or whatever, because after the first incident, my dad's okay, I think she's attached too much to me, so I'm going to take a little step back, so that she doesn't think that she's the only one entitled, because she was also going to fight my mom over my dad for a moment there. Anyway, so she had already been kind of introduced to the idea that he's not going to be the only one doing stuff for her. By that point, I now had my chance to be the only one with her all the time. And I was also doing the little, like, grinding my metaphorical beak, right? And so after a couple weeks of being the only one who fed her, only one that watered her, we connected. And boy howdy, am I so glad. Because I love her so much. She, like, climbed down off of her cage onto the couch just to, like, spend time with me. She makes me feel so loved. Like, if no one else in the world loves me, at least she does. We're, like, tight now. Everyone else, like, she's much more personable with the rest of the family now. Like, she'll step up on their finger because we managed to finally work with her with that. But I'm definitely the favorite now. And I love it. I don't even remember where I got in that story. Oh, teaching an animal to not hate your guts. It's quite the little adventure. See, anyone excited for Owl House Season 2? I am. I really liked Season 1. That was one of those shows that I saw people talking about a bunch, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll check it out. And then I watched it, I'm like, actually, this is really good. I thought I was just gonna casually like it. But I very much, I think I, like, binge watched it relatively close to, like, in one day. There's, like, a hierarchy of cartoons that I like, and it goes from, like, ones that I watched that I appreciated and watched and enjoyed to ones that I watched and I really liked. And then there's the ones that I watch and I, like, obsess over, and I'm, like, pouring through the content, like, oh my gosh, look at how they did this, and let's really talk about their storytelling, and let me talk about the character development. Owl House is very close to being at that point, but it's not quite there yet. I feel like something in Season 2 probably will change that, and I'll be like, okay guys, the only thing I'm going to talk about now is the Owl House. But, it's not quite there yet. It's something that I will gladly talk about with people, and I very much enjoy, and I think it's very well done. I do watch it and think, oh man, this it's probably so fun to storyboard. Like, I bet you that it has to be a blast to storyboard. Maybe I'm wrong, but I look at it and I think that there's some cool little perspective. The storyboard artist had some fun. I'm so sure. You should watch the Owl House. Croc, you should. It's really good. I really like it. I tried to watch it with my brother because I thought he would really like it. Just the concept of being like, hey, I'm just a normal person, but I got kind of sucked into this fantasy world. I thought he'd really think that was cool. But he also said he didn't want to watch it with me. And then he watched one episode and he's like, eh. Which is such a bummer because I think it's really good. I think you should like it a little bit more. But, alas, oh, well. But I definitely recommend it. Okay, yes, they are. Kind of a plus thing going on. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm doing the eyes pretty okay. Let's see. Lumity is that shit between the protag and one of the bullies, right? Yeah, only it's interesting because of the way that they wrote it out, that, like, yeah, Amity kind of was a bully there for a little bit, but not... I think it was interesting in the sense that it almost seemed like Luce was also kind of in the wrong. Like, obviously her intentions were not meant to be mean and rude and all that. But I don't think Amity was trying to, like, necessarily cause as much problems as we thought. You know, like, I don't know how I'm trying to explain it, but, like, yeah, she was mean, and that's not the correct way to act. But you can see that, like, they explain her motivations for doing so, and it starts to make more sense. And then as they both learn about each other a little bit more, we start to see that they're not necessarily inherently mean. It was just situationally they were trying their best, and it wasn't the right way. I haven't watched the first season in a while, so there might be a scene or two that, like, says I'm wrong. But that's kind of how I saw it. Yes, we're talking about the Owl House. Yeah, it was like she was framed to be the bully because they needed, like, an antagonist for an episode, but very quickly we see, like, oh, okay, no, it's not so much bully because she's inherently a bully, it's more bully because the way that she was trying to protect her reputation was not necessarily the best way. And she very clearly shows that she's not necessarily acting in that way because, like, she thinks it's the right way to act. Or at least if she did, she's very open to being told, like, no. You know? There's that, like, willingness to grow. So, like, was she a little bit of a bully? Yeah. Is she a bad person? No. I would never look at Amity and be like, that's a bad person right there. Amity's design is beautiful. She's so pretty. And the black nails, an excellent design choice. It's really nice. I like it a lot. Amity's one of my favorites. They're all kind of, like, a surprising favorite to me. You know, because, like, I saw clips and stuff before I, like, actually sat down and watched it of the various characters, and I thought to myself, like, okay, I don't know that I'm gonna really like any of them. Just because, like, Luce didn't seem that relatable to me. And I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna really like her that much. But then, like, very quickly, I'm like, oh, no, she's, like, really cool and very relatable. And so I feel like that's kind of how the Owl House kind of played out for me. Was like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like any of these guys. You know, Willow too, I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna really like Willow. Like, she'll be fine, but I don't know that I'm gonna really be happy to necessarily see her on screen. Like, I'm content to see her on screen. I don't know that I'd be happy. But then, like, she comes on screen, I'm like, okay, hi, I think you're really cool. But they all kind of surprise you, and it's kind of a neat little thing to see. Let's see, have you ever thought about getting an art tablet? Yeah. do. Let's see. But I'm also very not good at getting resources of the financial variety, of the capital kind. I am very poor, and so that doesn't feel very realistic in my future, at least not for a while. I feel like I'll know that I made it to a good place when I can actually just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna buy an art tablet. Or like, I'd really like one of those like Cintiq things. They're like $2,000. I don't have that kind of money, but it's just, I think they're a Wacom. Anyway, they're pretty cool. I think they're, like, I see them when I'm like on Disney and whatnot, and I'm seeing their like behind the scenes footage or whatever. You'll see their artist drawing on those Cintiqs. I would love one. I would love one of them, honestly. Just because, like, all of the power of drawing digitally, or it's like everything that I like about drawing on my tablet, with all of the power that it would be of drawing on the computer. They are so neat to me. I had a chance to use them in school, because our high school had a couple, and they were like, yeah, you just, ask and we'll let you use them. And I'm like, sweet, I'll probably do that. And then I thought, wait a second, no, I probably won't, because I'd actually have to go talk to our IT guy about getting the permissions to use it, and I hated talking to that guy. Not because he's a bad guy, like, he was fine, but just going and saying, hey, can I please do this, was too much for me, so I never actually got to use them. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. And if I didn't worry about, like, being able to afford rent someday, I'd probably just buy it. Like, technically, I feel like if I looked at my savings, I'd probably have enough where I could just go get one. But then it's like, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth getting it? When I'm not really doing anything, like, nothing that I do on there is inherently something, like, that would be exclusive to that tablet, or to that device. I can pretty much do everything I need to do on here. So why would I spend, $2,000? Oh. That was the last time I looked at it. That was like years ago. Because I just haven't even considered it. I do think about it quite a bit, but I don't, like, seriously consider it. But, yeah. If anyone wanted to, like, marry me and propose to me with the Cintiq tablet rather than, a ring, I'd very quickly say yes. Like, I don't want a diamond ring. Like, that's stupid. I want a drawing tablet. I want the big one. Please, thank you. Or, like, the other option that I think about occasionally is, like, why would you propose with a ring when you could propose with, a fancy little gas electric stove that'll, like, actually cook things nice. With, like, dual oven or whatever it is. Anyway. That's what I think about. It's like, how many things could you buy for the price of a solid wedding ring that would be infinitely more functional and useful in the day-to-day life? Anyway. Yeah, but one of these days I'll get one. I'll get one of those fancy tablets where I can draw on the computer, but also look at what I'm doing. Because, like, I technically have, just, like, a little Wacom drawing tablet-y thing that I could connect to the computer that I think I technically stole from my grandpa. Or not my grandpa, my grandma. Not because I stole it. She, like, lent it to me and hasn't asked for it back yet. And I haven't bothered finding where I put it, or, like, finding where I put it so that I could, like, give it back. So I have one. But, like, here I am drawing in front of you today. And it's very much, like, I'm using my finger and I'm looking directly at the screen. And so my point with this, as soon as I can figure out how to draw out these teeth, is that I'm very much visual, hand-eye coordination, but they're both, like, the coordination is exactly what I'm seeing and what I'm touching, if that makes sense. And so the tablet that I have now doesn't display the image. It just sits next to the computer, and I'd have to look at the computer screen. And so I'd be looking forward, my hand would be down to the side, and so I'd have to draw and learn how to connect that way, which is something I've never done. And that worries me just a little bit, so I haven't really tried. I probably could get the hang of it, but I don't know that I'd sit there feeling like it was worth it. I don't know. The idea of proposing with an oven is hilarious to me. Yeah, you know, I just remember, my parents were talking, or someone was talking for a second, and they mentioned how, people will spend so much on wedding rings, but then they don't even have a bed, you know, for their apartment or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, that seems so weird. Why would you want the ring first when you could have, like, a good bed? And the thing is, like, these items cost about the same amount when you get into it. The bed's cheaper, technically. I mean, I guess it depends on the ring you get. I'm not really hip with the wedding ring prices. I'm not exactly in the market for that. But, I just keep thinking, I'm like, I don't even wear rings. Like, I have one that I've managed to wear quite, consistently. But that's like a miracle. That never happens. So, that's not the right angle. I need that to be. And so, like, why would I buy a ring? Why would I want a ring? I don't. You know? I've seen my mom, like, lose the diamond on her ring and, like, go searching for it. I'm like, this just seems like too much hassle. You know? Diamonds aren't even really worth it. When you talk to people about it, they're like, yeah, they're not even really worth much. So I'm like, so what's the point? Why would we care? When I could just have a nice stove that actually cooks in the way that I want it to, or if I could have a nice bed that has a good mattress, you know. Or, like, spend almost nothing on the ring. Go on a trip. You know what I mean? Just some silly little thoughts I have. Occasionally. Like, I had a friend who was talking about marriage surprisingly seriously, and I'm just like, you could just not spend thousands of dollars on the ring. And get literally anything else. It would be so easy. And probably infinitely worth more. This is... Okay, I'm hoping that it works out. There we go. Some of these longer lines are so difficult for me. And then adding the nails on top of it, that did not make them any easier. Yeah, I sat there and thought to myself today, I'm like, is there any reason why putting on fake nails would be a problem? Like, seriously, what am I going to do today that would be a problem? And I thought, probably nothing. So I put them on, and then I said, oh, maybe I'll do this. And then very quickly I realized, oh, they were a problem. See, I would want something I could use that is part of my hobby. I love, that I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading today, that I could think of the person in each art piece or each dish from a stove. Yeah, it just has so much more value, both sentimentally and, like, it just feels like it would mean more to get something that isn't just a shiny rock, you know? Like, shiny rocks are cool, don't get me wrong, but you can also get a really cool shiny rock from a gift shop. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking out loud here. Let's see. Yeah, these nails are making it so hard to navigate the canvas. Okay. I feel like I'm okay with the line art and how it's turned out. I do think that the original is so good and it was quite a piece to live up to. Not sure that I have. Hoping that maybe we can chalk it up to, like, different, but, you know, good as well. Or something. But, yeah, that original is so cool. Let's see, what's the next OC you might draw? I'm not sure. It might be... it might be that it's getting late and I'm going to wrap up for today. Because these ones have taken quite a bit longer than I originally expected. Okay. Yeah, navigating, like, turning around the canvas is so hard with these on. Holy cow. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm gonna need y'all to stop being so talented so that I might have a chance. What am I doing that is causing you to not... Oh. Yeah, close enough. they're striped. Okay. That is okay. I can do that. That was the wrong. Oh, it's so hard to navigate this canvas. Usually I feel like I'm zipping around, but this one I'm like barely managing to. Okay, there we go. I think that basically means I've covered everything for the most part. I'm gonna go in and add the stripes now. Okay. Character based on a flag and while my styles changed. Yeah, it's cool to see how like styles have changed over time. What flags have you done? Is my question to you. Oh, dang it. Okay. Dang, there's like little white spots that I gotta manage. Okay. Go in and try and fix up those little spots. They don't really mean a whole lot overall in the drawing because no one really sees them when it's like that, but they certainly bother me when I see them, so we're just gonna fix them real quick. Throws off my sense of where my finger ends up with these nails on. I have no clue where my actual finger is, so it messes it all up. Thank you for the tip, Becca. I'll try it next time. Okay. There's a little bit of red going on with eyes. I'm gonna real quick. Okay. I'm getting there. Okay. And now I'm just gonna go in and hopefully shade this in a way that makes sense. Okay. Let's see if I can get this going good. I'm going to do a real sloppy shading at first. Clean it up as we go. Feels a little bit rough, but it'll... Was this one harder than the beige wolf from last time? In different ways, yes, and in different ways, no. Like, I feel like they're pretty similarly matched as far as how difficult I found them. I find the animal characters people ask me to draw a little bit harder just in general. Because I used to be someone who drew animals all the time, but now I kind of just don't. And so it's something I don't normally do. And so that just makes it a little bit more difficult in general. But just because it was hard did not mean it wasn't a lot of fun and very interesting to draw. Don't mind me. Drawing and talking is so hard sometimes. Yeah, I find it interesting the things that I end up having difficulty on. Because a lot of the times I'll draw something, I'll be like, I got this. It's not even going to be barely an issue. And then I start on it and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. I was not prepared for this like I thought I was. Okay. And then before I'm done, I think it would benefit this if I maybe highlight it as well. That's the darn word I was looking for. Oh, wrong way to do that. Wow, an artist that moved away from drawing furries. I never really was a furry guy, but I had such a hard time drawing, well, I guess I maybe was. I don't know. I don't really know what the definition of a furry is, I'll be honest. I never considered myself a furry. I might have drawn furry art. Well, it wasn't really furry. It was more, oh, I don't know. I don't even know what the definition is, so I don't know why I'm arguing anything. Like, it's the difference between The anthropomorphization of, like, maybe, is it Coda in Brother Bear? I don't remember his name. I can't even think of any other animal movies. What am I... But, like, I think we've all seen Brother Bear, probably. He's, like, obviously made to look more,